Hi, my name's Matt Widgery from mattwidgery.com, and in today's episode I'm going to be doing a what's in my bag with the Fuji X Pro 1, and this is basically my normal everyday bag that I now take everywhere with me. And I wanted to show you not only what's inside it, but how I've made this bag up as well. It's created from various cannibalized bits of other bags and stuff that was never designed to have cameras in at all. And I've put it together into a kit that works for me. Whether or not it works for anybody else, I don't know. But if you take inspiration from any of this stuff, then awesome. And I just think it's a really nice way of doing something basically on the cheap. So let's start with the bag itself. This is actually a messenger bag from Next. If you're in the UK, you'll know that very well indeed as being a very ordinary run-of-the-mill, but good quality sort of high street store. They do a range of clothing and things like that, and they also, make these bags. I chose this one because I wanted to have something that didn't look like a camera bag. I wanted something that, blended in a little bit and didn't stand out when I was doing street photography. And just as an everyday bag, I didn't want to carry around something that looked like it had a lot of really expensive camera kit in it, basically. So I went with that. It's a kind of messenger thing because I like having it over the shoulder, but then being able to swizzle it round and access things without taking it off like you would with a backpack. So I chose it for those. And the other reason I chose it was because it's got these magnets on the front instead of having poppers. They're really quiet. There's no Velcro that makes a big noise. It's very, very quiet to undo. So if you wanted to do like a bit of street photography and take a camera out stealthily, then you can do, and it's really, really quiet. I've modified it a bit inside to allow it to take cameras safely and securely, and I'll come on to that sort of last of all, because I think it makes sense, just sort of take things out as I go and just kind of see, let you know what I carry around with me, just when I'm just out every day. So this is on my person every day when I'm going out to meetings or just walking around or whatever it is. So. There's two little pockets on the outside. In here I've got a blower thing. This is the one by Lens Pen. Others are available. I like Lens Pen stuff. There's a microfiber lens cloth in there as well, which is also in there, and a lens pen in there as well. So that's in there. That allows me to keep the lenses nice and clean when I'm out and about. This is a really cool little notebook. This is by Paper Chase. It's got a really good quality sort of paper inside and a nice sort of leatherish finish on there as well. That means I can take notes. I had a meeting the other day and just scribbling notes from that. So I keep that in there as well. In the main bit here, it's actually split up. Before we get onto the sort of main camera bit, there's a second internal slot here, which does actually take my laptop as well. Takes a 15-inch laptop will fit across there, but I don't have that in there at the moment because I'm using it. I plug it into that IPC screen, IPS screen when I'm working here. In here, what I do have, obviously a telephone. Very handy to have. I use the Galaxy Note 2 because it's got a big screen on it, and so you can actually sort of show clients images and things at a pinch if you're out and about. I have some car keys. I have some more keys. I have a penknife. This is a Victorinox Swiss Army knife, and it's got all kinds of useful things on there. It's got screwdrivers and things like that, so I can take off tripod heads and swap those around. Obviously sort of knives for undoing bits and pieces. It's got a corkscrew on there for those of you that like a drop. It's got one of those. I actually quit drinking 4 years ago, so I don't really use that so much. But it's got little saws on there and pliers, which can be quite handy as well if you want to kind of use those. All sorts of useful things. Even in there, there's a little magnifying glass, so you can use that as a sort of loop if you're looking at negatives and things like that. Who does that these days? Not me, but if you're in the film world still and you do that, then that's really useful to have. So that's that. In this side, I've got a spare lanyard. Quite often you go to places these days and they don't give you a lanyard, they give you a bit of string, which is kind of annoying, so I have a couple of these kind of spare, just with sort of my ID passes. So on Friday, for example, I was at the junction shooting Dry the River, and they didn't give me a lanyard, they gave me a sticker thing, so rather than getting it all smushed up on my t-shirt, I stuck it onto actually the Cambridge Rock Festival pass on that one. So that just stays in there as well, and it means I've always got a lanyard if I need it. What else have I got in there? I have a microfiber cloth. Can't have too many cloths for wiping things. Spare memory cards in that one. So this has got SD cards in there, and it's got CF cards in there for the D300 as well. So that's those. And business cards. Never leave anywhere without those. I'm going to cover up the phone number so I don't get spammed, but that's the business cards. These business cards are from Moo. They're the Lux ones, and I'm sure you won't be able to pick this up on the camera, but the either side of the black print, there's like another layer of red cardboard in there, so it looks like black, red, black as it goes through there, and I just think that's really, really awesome. They look, and they're very, very thick and good quality cards in there as well, so I just think that's a really nice touch that they have on those. Then I have wallet. Got everything in there I need, and I think that's it for there. And then these are actually for making the thing waterproof, because it is, as I said, it's shower proof, but it's not full on waterproof. So I have two of these. This came with the Kata that I reviewed. There's a link to that up on screen. The Kata 3N1 20DL that I reviewed. That's actually the rain cover that comes from there, and that will stretch over one side of it. And this comes off a bicycle pannier. It stretches over the other side of it, and the combination of those, it wraps the whole thing up. So if I'm in an absolutely torrential downpour, I can squeeze those up and take those out and use those. But they squeeze up and they they go in the bag there, and they're really light. They don't take up much space. So on to the cool stuff now. So this is how I've modified the bag. In the back section, this bag was actually in the back section designed to take the laptop. I keep it in the front, but the back section, this insert here is actually padded, and it's padded on this back section that goes against your back as well, and on the sides and on the bottom. So I thought this is going to be the perfect place to keep a camera. However, there wasn't any inserts or anything to stop things jiggling around. I did have a look, and it seems that you can, for not very much money, buy inserts that can go into bags. It looked like they ranged in price from about a tenner up to about £100. So I guess you're probably getting better stitching and more waterproofing and things like that for the more money. But I was impatient. I wanted to kind of just go and put something together myself, and B, I was curious to see what I had lying around the house that I could actually make into a camera bag, to change this ordinary messenger bag into something that could be used as my everyday camera bag. So what I actually used was this. Now, for those of you that follow the channel will know that I used to, well, first of all, I ran a branch of a company called the Electric Transport Shop, who do wonderful electric bicycles. I then became their PR manager and their marketing manager, and I did all that kind of stuff for them. But they sell electric bikes, and they do conversions from your normal bike to an electric bike. And so what they have is these little bags that clip onto the side of a pannier and contain the battery. So you put that onto the back of the bicycle. You put the battery in there. In this side pocket there, you put the kind of digital controller that controls everything to make it all work. And that's a nice, neat, tidy little unit. But I thought it's really cool because it's waterproof completely. So that if nothing else, the cameras that are in there, even if everything else gets wet, that's all protected. It's got more padding in there. It's got another zip on there as well. So if you're in an area where there's kind of maybe pickpockets, you can zip that up. It gives another area a level of protection and things like that. I actually, for the most part, keep the lid tucked down inside there, so I've got easy access to the camera gear. And then the camera itself. So this is the Fuji X Pro 1. When I'm just walking around and I have it just around, in the house, and I'm not going out anywhere, I keep it inside its little leather case like that. When I'm actually going out shooting, I take the half case off, and I'll either put that separately in there and have this around my neck, or I'll have both things just sitting in the side of there, and then I can just grab that quickly and then start shooting. So that makes life very, very easy. So that's that one. But it gives it just that extra layer. I'm all about just protection, just in case I drop it or anything like that. In this side, I've got a little vintage leather lens case. And inside there I have a Fuji lens bag, and inside there I have a Fuji 35 1.4. The lens that's on there is the 18-2, so that's that. I do the same thing with these as David Hobby does on his cameras. I don't use lens caps. Apart from that, I think those little fiddly pinchy lens caps are kind of stupid. They do always get lost anyway. So what I do is I have the lens hood, and then I use these little just clear glass filters on the lens as well. So that protects the front element of the glass from getting scratched, so I can just wipe that off with a t-shirt. It's not got any special coatings or anything like that I need to worry about. And then the lens hood goes on top of that, and so it just prevents it getting scratched or knocked anyway. At the moment I've only got one lens hood that goes between the two. I was actually going to get another lens hood to go onto the 35, but then I realised that if I did that it wouldn't fit inside the little box thing here, and the lid doesn't really do it very nicely, especially when you've got it in that. So I now just have the one, and I switch it from lens to lens, and that works absolutely fine for me. Your mileage may vary, but that's what I do with that. Now, in the side of here, electrical tape, never go anywhere without that. Oh, by the way, yeah, I toyed for ages with the idea of whether or not to kind of tape up this camera, but I did in the end. I've taped up the little blinky flashy light that's on the end there, and I did tape up the end there just for two things. One, stealth, and also I think I put a load of tape over the things that, said kind of X Pro 1 and Fujinon and things that looked expensive, so it now looks more like an old beat up film camera, and I like that. I like the fact that it's anonymous, which is cool. What else have we got in there? I've got some spare AA batteries fully charged. I've got a spare Fuji battery, because anybody that's used a Fuji X Pro 1 will tell you immediately that the batteries just don't last very long. So that's that, and I think that's that. And then inside, the padding that's inside this, that just kind of makes a little divider between the lens and the camera, that's the padded inserts from the Kata bag as well. So I've kind of cannibalised that in order to to get everything in. So that's it really. It's a very sort of lightweight kit. I mean, none of this really weighs very much. I mean, I had a motorbike crash a few years ago and really did some damage to my shoulder, and sort of broke it in 6 places. Actually, that wasn't the motorbike crash. I had I broke my leg in that one. It was a mountain bike crash that I broke the shoulder in. But at any rate, the long and the short of it was I smashed my clavicle in 6 places, and so carrying, especially a 2-strapped bag like a rucksack, becomes very heavy and arduous after a while, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to look at lighter weight cameras. But having something like this with everything I really need to take pictures and go to meetings, I can slide the laptop in there and things like that, and that's really all there is to it. So as you can see, there's not a lot there, but that's everything that I need, bar the laptop, which goes in there as well. So that's my what's in my bag. I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave me comments below and let me know what's in your bag. That's your question for the day. So leave comments in below and tell me what you carry with you as your everyday bag. Not when you're going out to do some big fancy special shoot for a client or for fun or whatever, but just what you carry in your bag every day that has your camera and stuff in it. So thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe using the big red button that's just appeared on the screen. I think there we go, there, that's the one. So subscribe on that one. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.